In truest form, I lack a script for this video. I just watched Across the Spider-Verse with a couple of my friends. I finished it a couple hours ago as of the time I'm recording this. I'm not going to spoil it. If you're worried about that, I'm not going to. So if you haven't seen it or like you don't know anything about it or you want to go in blind, I'm not talking about like what actually happened in that movie. I'm thinking about the movie as a whole. It's in theaters right now. It's not going to be in theaters forever, obviously, and it will eventually release to DVD and streaming services and all that jazz. Here's the thing. If it's showing at your local theater and you have the chance to see it, you need to watch it. You need to see this movie in theaters. It is a one-of-a-kind experience. It was so unique. And I don't think that experience can be replicated at your in-home monitor. Like, you need to see this in theaters. I could talk about that movie forever. I'm not going to do a review of it. I don't intend to do a review of it. I talk about things, but like, this channel is not my occupation. So if you want me to do a full review of it, it's not going to happen. Not here. The story was so good. The visuals were so good. If you saw the first movie and you were impressed by it and like you agree with everybody that it is like a revolutionary movie, wait until you see this one. This blows it out of the water. I don't care if you are the biggest Marvel fan or couldn't care less about Marvel, if you love Spider-Man or hate his guts, or if you're like worried about having any knowledge prior. I'll admit there is a lot of fan service in there, but I don't think you need to be like a super intelligent fan or know everything about Spider-Man and the MCU and Marvel to watch this movie. Because yes, there is a lot of fan service in this movie, but that doesn't mean that the movie is not enjoyable. There's a lot of jokes that hit. The story is really good. The visuals are amazing. Some of those friends that I mentioned that were in the theater were like not even too familiar with Spider-Man and like his stories, and they still enjoyed the movie. You need to watch this movie. It is a massive improvement from its first movie. If you haven't seen it, watch that first and then watch this one. Or you could watch this one and then watch the Into the Spider-Verse first. But like, I mean, there's a lot of important details in the first movie that are just like casually said in the second one. So like, watch the first movie. The story allows you to understand the stakes while also understanding the personal perspectives of the characters. To me, that like is part of what makes it so enjoyable. Like, I can't go into it too much. I cannot talk about how great this movie is unless you've seen it. I need you to see it. Like, this is a one-of-a-kind experience. The story is good. The visuals are amazing. It is one of the most uniquely passionate movies of this year, probably of this decade. And Into the Spider-Verse came out 5 years ago. So that's saying something. There's so much passion behind that movie that I feel like a lot of movies have been lacking in recent years. Seeing them fully take advantage of their concept in both their visuals and their story and their characters, it is just amazing, and there is absolutely no way for you to understand what I am talking about unless you watch this movie. And I highly, highly recommend you see it in theaters. If you have the opportunity to see it in theaters, jump at that chance. I am serious. You are not going to get an experience like this again, unless the sequel to this movie is like somehow better. Considering the fact that Into the Spider-Verse was like phenomenal when it came out, and this is even better compared to that, I think there's a good possibility that the third movie could be even better. I don't care what you think of anything this movie could be associated with, whether it is animation or superheroes or comic books, or I guess it's kind of avant-garde if you're anti-avant-garde, which, first of all, screw you. Or if you just think it's a stupid little kids movie, which it's not. You need to see this movie. I have so much trouble putting into words just the pure astonishment I felt watching this movie. It does end on a cliffhanger, but considering how long the movie is and considering how much time it takes to actually let its story play, I appreciate that, and I can wait. I am willing to wait to see the ending of this story. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. I don't think there is any way for you to understand what I am saying, what I am trying to say, without like spoiling all of this, unless you see that movie. Please watch that movie. It was like one of the most wonderful experiences of my time. Go watch it in theaters if you can. See what you think. And if you haven't seen the first movie, go watch the first movie and then see the second movie. It's just wonderful.